No audio.
There is.
I hear it.
Yeah.
I have audio. Aaron?
All right. Welcome, ladies. Again, please use the chat. We would love to hear where you're calling in from this evening. For those of you who I may not have had the opportunity to meet yet, my name is Erin Henty. I'm the self-proclaimed Chief Experience Officer here at Becoming You Adventures, and I am so excited to be able to be here this evening to share our very first 2026 adventure that will be kicking off in February of next year. So you're here because you're already interested. I shared the promo video just because it was fun, and I'm going to be sharing that through Facebook and other places as we start filling spots for this upcoming adventure. Um, we have done two experiences so far. We just came back from Costa Rica for a women's retreat, and last year we took a group of 26 women to Portugal. And so we're really excited to continue the momentum. We're going to be going to the Greek Isles in October and just continuing on from there. For those of you who are, I'm assuming all of you are on my email list because you're here this evening. Um, if you're not, I'll go ahead and drop a link in the chat a little bit later with a link directly to all the adventures that are coming up in case you are undecided yet of what you would like to do. But without further ado, I wanted to just take a moment because this 2026 adventure and others moving forward, we do have special travel leaders or our wayfinders who are going to be able to be there for you to connect, bring you together throughout the experience, as well as kind of be that person to uplift and encourage along the way. So, our very own Mary Malanky is here this evening. And hi, Mary, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Just a little fun fact, what was it about South America that made you want to choose there?
It's a place I've never been, and I am amazed and just intrigued with penguins and Patagonia. And I'm like, why not throw some wine in there and some waterfalls and do it all?
Yeah, let's do it. I love it. I'm going to share a little bit, if it's okay with you, your
Sure,
bio that you sent to me this week, if that's okay.
it's totally
Um,
fine.
yeah. Mary says, I'm excited to be a wayfinder to help other women experience travel, try new experiences with new friends, and connecting to people around the world. I just started traveling in April 2024, and we've had some great experiences. I've traveled to other countries and have stayed in the US. My favorite trip in over 25 years was to Portugal. Not knowing a single person on the trip, she got to see a beautiful country, experiences she's never thought she would have, and met some terrific women you wouldn't have otherwise. And you become good friends with many of them. She says, when I went to Costa Rica prior to our trip, we had to tell the group what animal in Costa Rica we resonate with most. I said monkey because they watch and observe. They can be mischievous, playful, and show courage. This playful spirit reminds us that in laughter and shared experiences, we find common ground, transcending boundaries and fostering a sense of unity. Something that I hope happens on these trips. Since Mary's husband died in 2021, She would say she's most proud of herself for trying new things, standing on her own, traveling and living life to the fullest. I know you shared with me a lot of bucket list adventures, but I could go on and on about you, Mary. Yeah, Mary, we've been fortunate enough to have Mary in a couple of our experiences, and I know many of you women have gone on one of our previous experiences before too. So I'm just excited to have you, Mary, and others that are kind of looking for an opportunity down the road to maybe lead your own experience or connect others and bring them along for an adventure. Definitely reach out to me. I'm happy to share additional information and as we step into 2026. So, with all of that, we've got a couple special guests this evening. Well, you're all special guests. Let me just say, I love seeing all of your faces. Yep. And oh,
Yes.
I see so many that I haven't seen in a while. Oh my goodness. Look at all of you. Hi, Shelley. Mary Ellen, let's see, Jennifer. So good to see all of you. All right. So we work pretty closely here with Go Away Travel. They basically find all of our suppliers in other countries, help ensure we have a seamless experience. And if there's any bumps along the way, they're the ones working behind the scenes to diligently ensure we find where it is that we're supposed to be going. So hopefully that's a comfort to you, Mary, too, as we navigate to South America. We know who to call. And I'd love for them to each introduce themselves and share a little bit about our experience this evening. So welcome.
Thank you, Erin. I might as well jump in first. Hi, everybody. Lovely to see all you lovely ladies. And I see lots of people from different states as well. I'm Jennifer. I'm the Senior Sales and Reservations Manager for Go Away. And I'm so excited for your trip. I've been to South America myself and I absolutely loved Argentina. I haven't made it down to Ushuaia yet, but it's on my bucket list. And I believe you're taking in Chile as well. But I always think that Ireland is the best country in the world. If you haven't gathered, I'm Irish. But I'm telling you, Argentina and Chile, they come a very close second, in my opinion. Along with South, there's so many places, and that's a great thing about putting trips together. And I know Erin and Cara specifically has curated some amazing trips for you guys, which will be absolutely amazing. But anyway, I'm going to pass you over to Cara. Cara, say
Hi,
hello.
everyone. My name is Kara. I'm a group specialist here at GoAway. I specialize in South America adventures. I've been working closely with Erin on this trip. I also helped her put together the Costa Rica one. So we have been working closely, and I think we have a beautiful itinerary that is going to hit a lot of bucket list items for everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Do you want us to kick off with the presentation now,
I'm
Erin?
going to let you take it from here and share all the good
Perfect.
golden nuggets for this adventure.
Now, did you make Cara a host? Is Cara a
Oh, that's a
host?
great question.
All
Now that
these
we have
technical
her on
things.
here, she is no longer home user. So let's.
And you know what, while we're waiting for that, so I'll just, for those of you, I
There you
know a
go.
few of you have been on the other trips that Erin has curated to, whether it's Portugal or Costa Rica. I'll do my very quick spiel on Go Away, okay? So we are, you'll see on my, I don't know if you can see on my screen where it says Go Away 55. We are in business 55 years, or I should say we're celebrating our 55th birthday this year. We are still a family-owned business. Bruce Hodge, who's actually originally from Australia, is 81 years of age and he still comes to the office 4 times a week, very much hands-on. And we are based in Canada, so our head office is in Toronto. However, 80% of our clients are actually from the US. So we're a big enough operation, 700 employees now around the world, but we still very much have that family feel. And what we love doing is, and what we're really good, well, we like to think we're really good at it, or we wouldn't be doing it for 55 years, is curating tailor-made, customized, and private tours. Okay, so that's really what we do. So if you see some of those big motor coaches where they have set departures and very set itineraries, they're brilliant at what they do. That's not what we do. We're not cookie cutter. We like to do things a little bit different. And I suppose Erin can attest to this while working with Cara. We like to sort of change things up a little bit and maybe not always go to where all the crowds go to, although it's important to go to those must-see destinations as well. But we like to see what the clients want to do and immerse yourself in those destinations. So it takes some time, Erin, doesn't it, putting those itineraries together to make sure that we're ticking all of those boxes. And also having a balance as well. Like this is your holiday at the end of the day. So it's important to have a balance and focus on those activities, focus on making sure we've got good accommodation for you. And we do a big thing we pride ourselves on as well as customer service. So we do have a 24/7 customer service line. Okay, so heaven forbid something happens when you're in South America and you need to get home or whatever else it is, there's always somebody there to contact. Okay, and Erin knows how to get myself and Cara at the drop of a hat as well. So we're in the journey together. That's how we like to say it. So yeah, Cara, have you got, and Cara's put a presentation together.
Yep. I just wanted to say really quick, for those of you who have caught wind of our Ireland trip next year, these lovely ladies, and you might be able to tell by Jennifer's accent, she gave us a lot of insider tips on the best places to go to Ireland as well. So don't miss on that out on that. We'll have a webinar in September kicking that one off. Were you able to share, Kara?
No, I'll just try now, right? And see if it
Okay.
works. Tell me if you could see my
Yep.
screen.
Starting to share now.
Perfect. Now just bear with me because Jennifer usually is the one to share. So
I know.
okay. So how do I get full screen?
So if you go to, just go to presentation, Cara, to slideshow, it should then, and then just view from
There we go.
from beginning. To the left from beginning. Left.
Far left.
Oh,
Far.
Yeah.
geez. Okay. Oops.
There we go.
Okay, so don't click. All right. So is there a way to make this full screen?
I think you have it sharing the preview
next slide.
screen, so
Oh yeah.
it is okay. We're good.
Sorry. Okay. I'm on.
No, you should be fine, Cara. We can even do that way. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have it on my other screen very big. That's why I'm like, okay, all right. We'll just go with it. Okay, so here we have just a breakdown of what we're doing. So we have the Legend of the South, Argentina, Chile, and Patagonia. Beautiful, beautiful spots. This is altogether a 16-day journey if you are including the pre-extension, which starts February 4th in 2026. You're going to hit all the amazing spots: Buenos Aires, Mendoza, and Iguazu Falls, Ushuaia, and Calafate, and Patagonia. Now, I'm just going to pre-warn you, I'm not as best with these names as I like to be, so I'm sorry if I'm saying
Cara,
something.
you're fluent. You're fluent in it. Don't be worried about
I'm
it.
fluent in Care language. This is just travel requirements. As of right now, there are no visas or anything required for Argentina or Chile. You will be crossing the border to Argentina to Chile. So just prepare, you'll be going through customs when doing that. In this itinerary, there is going to be a lot of domestic flights. They're going to be nice short flights, nothing long or anything like that, but it is going to be lots of domestic flights. One thing I will say with these domestic flights is with packing, your luggage will not be the standard 23 kilos. It will usually be lower. I think it's usually 19 or 20. That will be more information closer to travel that will have that available for you. But just remember that when packing, that these domestic flights don't have as much weight with luggage. Okay. I am an overpacker and I went to Argentina and I did pay for more luggage space because I could not pack light. So you can do that too as well. Here we have our weather conditions. Everything is absolutely beautiful weather. So when you're first arriving in Buenos Aires, you're going to find very nice, warm temperatures. And then same with Iguazu, it's going to be warm, but a little more humid in that area. Absolutely beautiful. In Mendoza and Santiago, you're going to find it more drier, but still very beautiful and warm. And then in Patagonia, we're going to have those difference in changes with a little more stronger winds and rain showers, but still absolute beautiful weather in all the regions you're going to.
It's just important to note as well for those of you if you don't know. So their seasons is the opposite to North America. Okay, so when you're going, their winter is our summer. So you're going at a perfect time. February is right in the middle of summertime in South America. So you can't beat it from a weather perspective. It'll be absolutely gorgeous.
Iguazu Falls is just beautiful weather. Yeah. It's going to be stunning. Here is just a quick breakdown of what we're doing. So from February 4th to the 6th, we have that extension to Ushuaia. Ushuaia, thank you, to see the penguins. Was one of on Mary's bucket list, so we had to include it, and it's a beautiful itinerary. You're first going to be arriving in Buenos Aires, and then you're going to be flying on your domestic flight there. You'll have a full day, and then and then we'll come back, and you'll join the rest of the group that arrives in Buenos Aires that didn't do the pre tour. Here you're going to have your city tour and your tango show with the meal, which is absolutely amazing. We're going to then fly to Iguazu Falls, where we're going to see the most beautiful waterfalls in South America. I personally think in North America, but absolutely incredible. And then we're going to go to the Mendoza wine country, where you're going to experience those Melbacks and beautiful mountains with vineyards, absolutely gorgeous. Santiago, where you're going to experience the Chile wine, and you're going to see the city tour there too. And then we're going to end with the wonderful glaciers of the unique of South America. So it's a beautiful itinerary that hits all the bucket lists.
I'll talk a little bit about the Ushuaia part. So as Cara mentioned, so there is the option, like I think Erin just put in the chat there. So we have the main tour. Okay, so those of you who want to be gone, Erin, just mention the dates there again, because I don't know. It's February 7th, you said?
It's February 4th.
That's for the pre-tour, yeah.
And then the regular is February 7th.
Yeah. Okay. So as Cara mentioned, I believe Mary going to Ushuaia was one of your bucket list items, and a lot of people. And full disclosure, I have not been to Ushuaia yet. I have done Argentina, I've done Chile, Brazil, the full works, literally everything except Ushuaia. But it is top of my bucket list now because it is one of those must-see destinations. So if you do have, I suppose, if money and time allows, it is a great opportunity to see the most southerly city in the world. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, southernmost city on earth. Yep. Okay. So as Cara mentioned, you'll fly into Buenos Aires. There are domestic flights because remember, the area that you're covering is so vast. Okay. So the only way, if you were doing it by car, listen, you'd be into 2030 by the time you got there. So it's important to take these flights, but don't worry, everything is well curated. Okay. So you'll fly into Buenos Aires. You will have one night in Buenos Aires beforehand, just with the length of the flight and everything. I know you're all dotted around the US. So you'll have that first night. You'll be blown away by Buenos Aires. It is, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. It is known as the Paris of the South. And me being Irish, I've been to Paris lots of times in different cities. In my opinion, it is very, very comparable to Madrid. It has a real European feel to it. But you'll have that first night in Buenos Aires, and then the next morning, you're going to take your flight down to Ushuaia. And as Cara mentioned, if you are penguin lovers, if you're sea lion lovers, the wildlife here is absolutely incredible. This is the place for those of you, it's my next bucket, my bucket list keeps on adding, by the way. If you ever want to go to Antarctica, this is where people start off. They'll start off in Ushuaia, okay, in Patagonia, before they start their Antarctica adventure. So you've got 2 nights there. And which is plenty of time really to give you a good overview of it. And you're going to hit the Tierra del Fuego National Park. It's one of the world's most renowned national parks. You're going to take I'm not saying it all by verbatim here, but you're going to be taking a boat trip. You're going to experience, as Cara mentioned, the penguins, and there's loads of them. Okay. And then what else are we seeing here? You'll experience the town of Ushuaia. And now our colleague, I should say, Aisha, has been to Ushuaia a few times, and she knew we were doing this presentation tonight. Her top tip, okay, firstly, good walking shoes and dress for comfort here. Although it is summer, so we talked about the beautiful weather that you're going to have in mainland Argentina and Chile, and when you go up to Iguazu Falls, in Ushuaia, it can get quite windy. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So that's where you'll want to have the layers for the wind, because it can get windy. But you're going to have the 2 nights there. The hotel that's been picked there is absolutely fantastic, right in the heart of the town. So you've got everything within walking distance. And then getting to Tierra National Park, it's about 15 kilometers or so. So you never have long drives. You don't want to have that when you're on your holiday. So it'll be, you're there from day 1 to day 4, should I say? Yeah. 4th to the 7th, and then you're going to take a flight back from Ushuaia up to Buenos Aires, and then the rest of you guys, if you can't take in the Ushuaia portion, you'll all join together in Buenos Aires for, I suppose, what we'll say is the main part of the tour. So
And on the first day, which is going to be February 7th, when everybody arrives, you're going to get the everyone can have just sort of a day of leisure, relax, rest, and then you're going to have dinner for the tango night, which is amazing. As you're watching them, honestly, they make it seem so easy that you think you can get up and do it, but you can't. And
after a few vinos, you will, though. That's the key.
yeah,
Isn't that right, Cara?
yeah. And the food is incredible. The wine is incredible. Everything will be wonderful. So that's just a great way to start your journey. The next day, that's when you're going to do your city tour, where you're really going to experience the city. They're going to take you around to all the highlights of the city. And this will be a personal, private, guided tour. And then in the evening, again, we have a beautiful dinner at one of the local restaurants. Um,
Sorry, I think we should have mentioned as well. We forgot to mention as soon as you arrive in Buenos Aires airport, okay, that's where you'll meet your guide. And
mhm.
from that part, as Cara mentioned, it's a private transfer. So Tom, Dick, and Harry aren't going to be on your transfer unless you ask them to come on your trip, okay? This is solely for your group alone. And that's the same with all of the excursions as well. So I think that's important to note. There'll be a lovely sign at the airport with the name of the group. And from that moment, you're looked after.
And it will all be a local guide. So
Yeah.
any questions you have or any concerns, that will be at the time. In Argentina, there is actually two currencies. There's a travel currency and a regular currency, and they'll be able to tell you the best place to get that travel currency, and where they're going to give you the best rate. Or sometimes even I know when I was there, because again, it's all private, they can make a stop and get that local currency. But usually where your hotel is located, there'll be a spot just right down the street to get it.
So bring US dollars with you. You do not need to exchange it before you go. You'll get your best exchange rate. Again, credit card is widely going to be accepted as well, with the exception of MX.
Mhm.
Okay. MX, same with Europe. MX is a dodgy one. Okay. It can be great for points and all the rest, but it's not widely acceptable. Visa, MasterCard is going to be accepted everywhere.
Mhm. So there we go. We have our 2 nights in Buenos Aires, and then from there we are going to go to Iguazu Falls, which is an absolutely incredible site. So you're going to fly from Buenos Aires to Iguazu Falls. Our first day there, you're actually just going to have time to relax after the flight, enjoy the pool or explore the town. The town is incredible. And then in the evening, you're going to experience a cooking slash dinner called Argentina Experience. This is where you're going to see how they're make their empanadas. You're going to sip Melback. There also is the matcha tea, I want to say, where they'll teach you how to drink it. It's amazing. And this is where you're going to see all those flavors and how it's all made. And they're going to give you quick tips of why empanadas are shaped the way they are. I'm not going to tell you why because I don't want to give the surprise, but it's really a wonderful experience. After that evening, the next day, you're going to have your privately guided tour of Iguazu Falls. Nothing here is very strenuous. Okay. So the walks are really nice and easy. You're going to be taking a beautiful train up in the jungle, up to the falls. From there, it's a very just even platform where you walk along until all of a sudden you get to the opening of the beautiful waterfalls where you get to experience it. It's not as crowded as you would think because they do have scheduled times of when people can go up. So it's absolutely beautiful. Everybody will be able to get a beautiful picture of the falls and stunning. However, you will experience like the mist and the water coming off the falls. So if you wanted to wear like one of those ponchos, I do recommend that. I didn't. I just enjoyed it because it's so warm. It felt cooling. So that's your day 10. And then
in Iguazu Falls, so you're in Argentina, but technically you can walk around the falls, and that's the Brazil side. So you've got the Brazilian side of Iguazu Falls, and you've got the Argentinian side of Iguazu Falls. I believe my understanding, Cara, is the Argentinian side is the better view of the falls.
yes,
Yeah,
the Argentina side has, I think it's called the panoramic view,
yeah,
where you'll see the full scale of them.
yeah.
Mhm. And then from there on February 11th, we're going to go to Iguazu to Mendoza. This is where you're going to experience that dry desert air with the wineries. Our first day there, we are just going to have you're going to fly there, you're going to have a little bit of relaxing. And then the evening, we have planned a sunset horseback ride through the vineyards, along the Mendoza rivers with the stunning views. And then you're going to enjoy a delicious dinner at the estate. So absolutely beautiful experience there. You're going to sorry, I transferred there, but you're going to experience the beautiful vineyards with the dinner and the horseback riding and the guides there. They're going to help if you're unsure about horseback riding or anything like that. They're there to help, just tell you if if you're nervous about horseback riding. I was nervous about it, and they put me on the most easygoing horse out there. So very nice.
And
Um,
can I just add in anyone on a diet? Listen, don't be dieting when you're in Argentina because the food is absolutely top notch, especially for, I shouldn't say, listen, if you're vegetarian, there's loads of options. But my goodness, ladies, if you like beef, you will have the best steak of your life in Argentina. The food is absolutely second to none. It really, really is great from the breakfast through to every dinner, but especially in the Mendoza region as well. And if you're like, obviously, it's very famous for the wine. If you're not wine drinkers, I'm actually not a wine drinker, but they do have like even non-alcoholic wines. So there's something for everybody's palates. But the food, it is so famous. It's so rich in flavor. And Aisha, the girl I mentioned who's been to Ushuaia a few times, Aisha's a vegan, and she'll still say to this day that Argentina is her favorite country to visit for from a food perspective. There's so much choice.
And see, like I wasn't a red wine drinker before I went to Mendoza, and now I have to have my Malbec and I have to have my red wines. And I used to be like, oh, I'll go and get like the best priced wine. Now I have to get a little more of expensive wine because I went there. But
You're
it's
spoiled.
absolutely yeah, it's absolutely incredible. On our next day, we're gonna have another wine experience at one of the local wineries. Here, you're gonna experience one of the best wineries that they have to offer, and you're going to visit 3 boutique wineries, and you're also going to stop at one of the wineries for a lunch, which is going to be incredible too. That And then from there, we're going to go to Mendoza to Chile. And this is going to be another domestic flight here. Again, not too long, but this is where you might clear that in. So when you're going to clear those international. Here we're going to arrive, and then we've given you a little bit of a day of leisure here. So this is again time to enjoy, relax, experience everything around you. And then the next day, we're going to do our city tour, where you're going to explore all the highlights that Santiago has to offer. And this is again the private guided experience. And we have another dinner in the evening at at a local Chilean restaurant.
I can
Um,
just, sorry, Carol, I'll just add in as well, because I've been in Santiago recently enough. What the most impressive thing about Santiago is, if like looking at that picture there, it's sort of mind blowing. Like if you look at Chile on a map, it's obviously the skinniest of the countries. A bit like myself. I'm only joking. Um, but they have like you've got the Andes right behind you, so you're looking at the Andes Mountains, and then you look this way, and then you just see the sea. It's so weird. It's so weird to see these really impressive mountain ranges and then the ocean just to the left of you. It sort of looks like it's fake. It's picture postcard. It's
Any
absolutely gorgeous.
any chance we're going up in that giant tower that's over every other building and all of
I don't know. I don't even know if that's an I'm sure there could be an option, but I know there's options to go. When I was there, there's a cable car that you can go up and see the views of the city and that. And as Cara mentioned, that first day, like you have chill out time. The location of the hotel, it's very, very much a walking city. So everywhere you go, you're going to see all of these like little tapas restaurants and bars, and very, very safe city as well. Really, really safe. I felt completely. I actually traveled there with a girlfriend of mine, and we felt safe throughout being in Argentina and Chile as well. But it's an absolutely beautiful city, very, very different vibe to Argentina as well. And the Chilean people, they're different. So it's great to, as Cara said, it's not a long flight jumping from Mendoza over to Chile. It is an international flight, but it has completely different flavors in both countries.
And this is
Sorry.
where you're going to get to experience both the Mendoza and Argentina wine flavors and then the Chilean wine
Mhm.
flavors. So it really gives you both experiences, which is wonderful. Then on February 15th, we're going to experience some of the best wineries in, again, Santiago. So you'll be able to, again, experience those different wine flavors. And then we're also going to have at lunch at the Dona Paula restaurant, which is a beautiful restaurant as well.
Mhm.
Okay. And then from there, I'll let Jennifer take the lead on this one because
Yeah,
It's better
Absolutely.
in
So
this
here
area.
you have, as Cara mentioned, there's another flight, okay, but they're worth it. Let me just reiterate, they're really worth it because you're doing both countries well. The fact that you're visiting so many areas. So from here, on February 16th, you're going to enjoy a beautiful, delicious breakfast at your hotel, and then you're going to take the flight to El Calafate, okay? So this is a really famous area for the glaciers and the salt plains and that. So again, I haven't been to this area yet, but the geography geek in me is dying to go to because just from and you're going north. You're going north from you are going north. I'm questioning myself. Yeah, you are going north on the flight. So you're going to be heading off to the majestic Perito Moreno Glacier. So it's a full day excursion where you're going out and seeing this glacier. And like I suppose Mother Nature and global warming and stuff like these are areas that who knows in time will you still be able to visit them, but very much now it's a top destination in Chile. So you'll be at the majestic Perito Glacier, and then that's a full day excursion. And then on the 18th of February, you're going to the Uppsala Glacier and Estancia Cristina Discovery. So this is a boat trip where you're going across from the Puerto Bandera on a scenic boat trip to Lago Argentino. So this is where you're going to be seeing the icebergs. You're looking out for the sea life as well. Hopefully there'll be a bit of whale spotting, but we can never guarantee that. And also you're going to end with a traditional Patagonian dinner and live folklore music as well. So this is where they'll have actually live entertainers which will come out and do their music and dancing and all the rest. And then after that, I should have said you're certainly going south because you're going right into Patagonia. On February 19th, that's where it all sort of ends. You're saying farewell to Patagonia, and then you have to take that flight from El Calafate back up to Buenos Aires, and that's where you're going to end the trip. And then you'll be calling Erin straight away saying, where am I going to next? Because we've no doubt that you're going to have a trip of a lifetime. And we're just going to touch on some of the accommodations here. And again, we don't tend to I shouldn't say we don't tend to book them, but when you're going to these destinations, we try to avoid doing the Hyatts and the Hiltons and stuff like that, because if you're staying, and that's nothing against these hotels, if you're staying in a Hilton in Cincinnati, it might be very much the same as being in a Hilton in Tokyo. It's nice to go to actually the smaller chain hotels when you're in these destinations, again, to immerse yourself in the destination. So the first hotel that you're going to be staying in Buenos Aires for the 3 nights is the Grand Briso Hotel. So this is literally in the heart of the city. So as I mentioned, it's known as the Paris of the South. Gorgeous, gorgeous building. It's not one of these ugly hotel towers or anything like that. It's
And
really, really gorgeous.
and I stayed at that one and it's absolutely incredible. And they have like a beautiful rooftop bar which you can go up to and view all the sights of the city. It's incredible.
I'll let you talk about the hotels, Cara, because you've been to them lately.
Well, yeah, so the Gran Brizo Hotel is one that I've been to in Buenos Aires, and like Jennifer said, it is centrally located. When we went there, it was nice. We could just walk out and go to a couple of the shops and get some souvenirs. And then, yes, it has amazing staff, amazing food, incredible sights. And there is, again, the rooftop bar that you can go to and see all the sites. It's wonderful. You have to go check that one out. Our next one, if you do the pre-extension, is in Ushuaia, and that is a beautiful hotel. It's situated within the views of all the mountains. Absolutely gorgeous. It is a little bit further from town in this area. It's harder to find hotels that are close to town. So this one is about 2.5 kilometers away from town, and it's about a 15-minute cab ride if you wanted to go it. But beautiful, nice rustic hotel feel. And in Guazú Fall, we have the Panoramic Hotel. Absolutely gorgeous hotel. Has a beautiful outdoor pool where you can enjoy that tropical weather in, where it's nice and humid, and take a dip on your day when you have a little bit of leisure time in there. So wonderful properties. The next one we have in Mendota is the HNH Hotel, sorry. Again, centrally located. Beautiful hotel, absolutely gorgeous. In Santiago, we have the Double Tree Hotel. It has that comfort feel. Again, very central located. You'll be able to walk to everything. And then we have our Calafont Hotel, which is located in the Nationals Park, and beautiful views out in this hotel.
And that's where Aisha actually stayed on her most recent trip to Calafate, and she said it was absolutely spectacular. Like the scenery at that hotel is absolutely amazing. And then every day a daily breakfast is included, okay? And again, you will not go hungry. There's lots of, as Cara mentioned throughout the itinerary, there's various lunches included, especially when you're going to the vineyards, which is obviously so important to have a delicious meal when you're sipping on all that wine. And then there's several dinners included throughout the trip as well. And one of the things is we try to pick restaurants that are, not some of them will be hotel restaurants where it's convenient, maybe like your first night or something like that. But other ones we try to hand pick the restaurants to make sure again you're immersing yourself and really sampling the whole how the locals eat, because that's what's important. And our partners on the ground are really, really good at picking out those gems of restaurants for you to enjoy too.
And speaking of good food, I'm ending it on this is actually when I went, all the pictures I took of the food there. And this is only a small quantity of the food that I experienced. Like I don't like fish, and this was incredible. This one right here was incredible. So everything that you will experience is amazing, well flavored, and the meat is just it falls off the bone. It's everything's cooked amazing.
Mhm.
And and that is what we have.
Who wants to go?
Yep. All right. So thank you, ladies, so much for sharing. I know there's probably a lot of questions. I saw some of the ladies diligently writing, taking notes. Can't wait. Just know that all this information that's been shared with you is also out on my webpage that I created under the itinerary section. You'll see day by day all the things that they just reviewed with you, along with a link to go directly to the booking and see the pricing. Depending on whether you want to do single occupancy, double occupancy, you want to do the trip extension, will just vary in pricing. And so we put all of that out there. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me via email. You get all my emails. You know where I'm at on Facebook. I'm just dropping really quick in the chat the link to the South America page. Now, I did tell Kara and oh my goodness, Jennifer. I always want to say Melissa.
It's
That's who I worked
Melissa,
with.
South
I
Africa.
worked
Yeah.
with Melissa in for Portugal. Yes, Jennifer. I know who you are. Um, I told them that my webpage is like 90% done because the very first thing you see, I could not figure out how to get the picture, the main picture updated because I had copied over a formatting from a previous page. And for the life of me, I was trying to be resourceful today. My tech person was out. So ignore the very first picture on the page behind the behind the main header in that. So I'm human and still learning on how to build web pages in my life. But ladies, this is your time. Um, I know you've got questions. I've dropped in the chat the link um, to the website with the itinerary, the overview, what all it includes. Um, what other questions might you have? I would say things that
I'm
we
just
didn't
gonna stop
cover
sharing.
real quick before we get into questions is this is very much meant to be an opportunity for connection. I think for those of you who come on previous experiences, you have experienced what it's like to connect with these other women who are participating. For those of you who have come on prior experiences, you may have saw a little nugget that I added into the email if you read it all the way through. I know someone didn't on this call. If you've traveled with me previously, I've got a gift for you. So make sure if you're going to be signing up for this or one of the other adventures in 2026, you send me an email and let me know because I have a special code for you to use before you book your next adventure. For those of you who have come on multiple, welcome back. You want to come again. This is so exciting. And yeah, I'd love to. You don't know what you don't know, so there isn't a wrong question, and
Mhm.
we're here to answer anything you've got. So let me have it. All right, you might have to unmute your lines, or you can drop the chat question in the chat. You can use the little emoji to raise your hand.
Oh, good question. Julie has a question there about the size of the group you bring.
Yeah, so this is very similar to like our Costa Rica experience. It's very unique, and so we're going to keep the group size smaller. The minimum number of people in order for this group to happen is 10. But we can take up to 20 on this experience. We won't go over. Portugal last year was our one and only for the year, so we made an exception and added on some women who eagerly wanted to come at the end. So we're really grateful we got to do that. But this will be a smaller experience, more intimate experience to be able to get to know your fellow traveler. So that is actually a really great question. Thanks for asking, Julie. We are not going to pack you in a bus full of 40 to 50 people.
No.
Promise.
And just from a go away perspective, that's our average group size is 19. Of all the
Mhm.
Yeah.
groups that we do, and we do a lot of groups, we don't like some places, yes, you can have more people, but just for overall experience, we find having that 20 or under, you just have a bit of a more intimate experience. And I suppose it's much easier to get to know your group as well by
Yeah.
having that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so great questions. And for those of you who may be interested in the pre-tour, we do require, again, a minimum of 10 people to sign up, whether it's the main tour or the pre-tour. And so if you get signed up, if for any reason we don't hit that 10 on the pre-tour, we'll just reimburse that money back to you. But we will kind of keep everybody posted along the way. I know this has been one experience that a lot of people have been interested in. So definitely check that out. Totally up to you. If you can take the extra time off and you want to go see another really cool place, that's a good option to add on. And then also, you might have touched on it, but we are booking domestic flights that are in country through Go Away. Um, does the website show the cost of the pre-tour? When you go into the website real quick before I go there, if you click on book any of the book now radio icons, there will be a pop-up that gives you the pricing for single and double occupancy. So definitely go into that and check that out. I got off track for a second. Where was I going earlier, Jennifer?
Well, I'm not sure, but I'll tell you when you see, I know some people when they look at the cost of a trip like that, there might be a sticker shock, like, oh my goodness, it can be, it's you're doing this bucket list trip, and obviously you've got so much included, including all of those internal flights and even the international flights from Argentina over to Chile. But what I will say is, you are lucky being south of the border from us up here in Canada, where our dollar is awful. Your US dollar goes a hell of a long way in South America, okay? Just to give you an idea, so Cara mentioned they do have the travel, it's pesos in both Argentina and in Chile, but $100, 100 US dollars will get you, I think I just took it down there, 122,000 Argentinian pesos, okay, today. And in Chile, 100 US dollar will get you 95,000 Chilean pesos. So you're going to, whether you are millionaires or not, you're going to feel it when you're in South America because, as I said, the US dollar goes a long, long way. And even for those meals that may not be included, and we don't include all of the meals because sometimes you just want to go off and experience and try something different. The value for money is incredible. From like eating in local restaurants, you can eat in Michelin star standard restaurants that does not break the bank that you'd absolutely pay a fortune for in North America. And same with buying trinkets. And if you want to get wine shipped home, you can do that as well. And you're getting top class wine that isn't, again, going to break the bank. So your money goes an awful long way.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, if you scroll down through the website, once you go out to there, you're going to see kind of like bucketed activities and tours. Like the tour length was so long, it doesn't even all fit on one page, but you're getting a lot within this experience, and it has it all listed out there along with meals, transportation information, as well as those accommodations that they shared, what hotels, how many nights, and all of that. Someone asked in the chat really quick. Oh, sorry, before I go there. At the top of the page, you'll see the radio icon that says book now. They're also embedded throughout the website. If you click on it, it will take you right to the booking page that will give you single occupancy, double occupancy. And as you move throughout and you continue, you can decide whether to pay in full or in payments. You can also add on, it'll give you the opportunity to add on the extension part of the trip as well. And then there was a question, and it's actually a really good question. I did see one of the hotels had like triple rooms,
Mhm.
and they asked if triple occupancy might be available.
That is definitely possible. That I don't have the pricing right now, but we can do triple occupancy. That's not a problem at all.
Okay.
It will just be most likely, most of the hotels will still be the two beds. So two of the passengers will be sharing, where one passenger will get one full bed, but we can do triple
Yeah,
occupancy.
so bring your best friends and have a slumber party. That's totally fine. Just let me know if you are interested in it. I will make sure that we follow up with you specifically and get that triple occupancy pricing for you.
Just
You
I'll just add my little word of caution with that as well, okay? Because a lot of the times, yeah, the price will go down. Normally, if you have triple, like the single, obviously you pay a higher amount, the double will reduce, and then with the triple, it does go down slightly. Just remember, ladies, you get one bathroom. Okay, so
Right.
I just know, and that's actually something that we have seen where people have gone, and this isn't unique to South America, this is just travel in general, where people are like, oh yeah, I'm going to save a few dollars and we'll all bung in, into the room together, and then they get to destination. And do you remember I said about the 24/7 care? That's where we
Hmm.
get the call and they're like, any chance we can get another room, because the one bathroom amongst three ladies is can be, in the morning time if you're getting up to have a shower and stuff like that. So you may be like, oh, I'm going to save myself a few dollars,
Hmm.
but what I will say is trip of a lifetime. Maybe for those few dollars that you're saving, you're going to lose in peace of mind while you're waiting for whoever to get out of the bloody bathroom. So just bear that in mind, okay? I
I,
feel,
I'm
and I've
so
seen it. I've
I'm so
seen
glad you
it.
said that, Jennifer, because on our Portugal trip, we had women who were like, yeah, we're going to save, we're going to share. And then when they booked their next adventure, it was definitely a single occupancy for them. Now, nothing wrong with it, but it's the bathroom, privacy, space, all those things. Shelly, you have your hand raised and you are welcome to unmute and ask your question.
Okay. I was just wondering about it said the activity level is moderately active, and I just wondered what that meant.
So
I
there's
mean,
not going to be any strenuous hikes, anything like that. If there's any mobility issues, that's not a problem. They will have at the like when you go see the Iguazu Falls, it's a straight shot, but there is actually wheelchairs up there too that you can hop on and push. So when we're saying moderately active, we're saying it's not going to be anything strenuous.
Okay.
in other words, most people can do it, Shelley. Anna said it's normally if we put in strenuous, it means that you need to have trained for the Olympics. Do you know what I mean? Again, this is your
Yeah.
holiday. If people want, there's going to be so many areas. If people do want to go off and hike and go off and do their 20,000 steps or whatever in a day, there's lots of opportunity to do that as well. But when it's moderately, it means that it's sort of catering for everybody. And if,
Mhm.
as Cara mentioned, if there's any mobility issues or even down to the horseback riding or anything like that, remember, this is your own private group. You
Mhm.
don't need
Mhm.
to be worrying about, as I mentioned already, Tom, Dick, and Harry. If anyone, I'm going to pick on Sheila. If Sheila's like, well, I have no interest in doing the horseback riding. I'd rather sit back and eat my charcuterie and drink my Malbec. Sheila's welcome to do that. That's the nice thing about this is it's your own group. So, and
Yeah.
it's your own holiday as well.
When we were in Mendoza, there was a lady who didn't want to do the horseback riding, so she got to stay back and have some nice wine and snacks and stare at all the cowboys on the ranch.
Oh, now
That's what I
Considering
that's what
not
I'd be
doing
I'm
that.
doing.
picking up what you're throwing down there, Carrie. We've got a lot of single ladies. No.
But to be fair, the guy doing the horseback riding was also dark skinned, tattooed, and the most gorgeous eyes I've ever seen. Too. I hope my
Yeah.
husband can't hear me, but
Yeah.
it was so
Yeah.
I had a good show too on the horseback
Yeah.
rides.
And I apologize. I know like single isn't the appropriate word for many of us, widowed, wherever you may be sitting, today. I'm at that point on my journey. It's been almost 10 years. I'm like, ooh, cowboys. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about what's next. So, again, needless to say, any of the experiences, we just ask that if for some reason you're not going, you're not feeling it, you need to talk privately with somebody. That's what, the leader's there for,
Hmm.
to be able to feel like you can connect and share. but also you're going to form really good relationships, whether it's with your roommate or other people. And so if you feel more comfortable sharing things with them and they pass along the information, totally fine. So, Jennifer, you asked, will you pair us up with a roomie? So what we have done previously is other women who don't have a roomie, we will pair you up as best we can. If there's multiple people, we can kind of take it from there. If there's anyone else on this call right now, please feel free to reach out to me if you're like, I don't know who I want to room with. I can connect you in advance of registering to just get a sense for like who that person would be. So I know a lot of the women I think that are on my email list and that are in this room. So just let me know what you need. I'm happy to, help get you connected, find that roommate. Again, we do offer roommate matching, but if it's limited, you might be with somebody that, maybe of a different background or whatever that, you do or don't click with. And so I always set those that are planning to room together up on a Zoom call and they can just decide from there whether or not it makes sense. All right. Any other questions? Oh, Shelley, go right ahead.
You're just on mute, Shelley.
Yeah. I'm looking on my iPad at the booking, and I still can't find the pricing for the.
It's not coming up on the reserve year when you click like book now or reserve year.
No, it's giving you the package for single or double occupancy just from February 7th to 19th.
Oh, not the
Yeah, so
pre-tour.
first, if you click the main package, and then it should be going into, let's see. If not, I'll double check it.
It is a couple clicks in.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It should be an add-on towards the end once you get, if you're like, yes, I'm signing up. The next screen after your participant info is the add-ons, and that will be the
Oh, so I have
extension
to
where
put
you
my
can,
info in first.
yeah, yep.
Okay.
No worries, like it's not committing you to anything once you click continue, but it's very basic information that we're collecting and then payments at the very end. So,
Okay.
all right. What other questions do we have, ladies? I'm so excited that you're all interested in coming. I know that you may have questions when we leave. Oh, one thing I didn't talk about is flights. Um, we've had decent experience with flying through Delta on in many of our international trips. I will say that based on recent experiences going to Costa Rica, probably won't be using American. Mary's laughing very loudly. Won't be using American. As a matter of fact, I did find some flights down to Buenos Aires that are going through Atlanta. So that will probably be our connecting airport. Once you're booked, we'll have a welcome call for everybody who's registered. We'll talk about flights. I'm keeping an eye on pricing in the background. So when we get to like, some lower pricing, then we can jump on it and get it booked. If you want us to book the flight for you, totally can do that. But we will plan to go through Atlanta so we can arrive as a group. And then transportation will be included as long as we arrive together as a
Mhm.
group. What happened with American? Nothing wrong. If you want to use American, please feel free. I think the biggest thing was there were storms going through Texas.
Oh,
And so we had canceled flights on the front end and the back end
okay.
of the trip. And so I've learned to like maybe not go through
Dallas.
going, yeah, and I did also, I was in a bus with somebody whose flight got canceled going to South America that was on with a different company. So like everybody has their own experience. Just my own personal, like
Yeah.
if you're an American person, like totally, I mean American
Have
flight
points.
person.
Have
Yes.
points.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you have points, like we can just coordinate what flights are available.
Mhm.
Again, if it arrives at a different time, you'll just have to get that transportation to the hotel once you arrive. But no problem there. You can do what you want. But I am keeping an eye on Delta for the
Okay.
most part for the group flights.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
there was 10 of us coming back from Costa Rica, and I think we all either had cancellations or delays. So
yeah.
And I was on United and I had a nightmare going and coming. So
Yeah.
You know, they're all as good and as bad as each other. I could sit here and
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah, they are. They
But
are.
it's funny
Yeah.
when you have that experience with them, though, it sort of sticks in your head and
Yeah.
people think it's the airline. Most of the time, it's Mother Nature, but I will say they're all as bad as each other
They
when it
are.
And I
comes to
will
they
say
are.
that if we can all fly together, that would be ideal because then we're
Yeah.
in it together, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Nobody's missing, like
Yeah.
everyone's a part of the same experience as much as possible. But again, you may have your preferred airlines. I've just been doing a lot of Delta flying this year with like zero issues. So that's why I'm like more inclined to kind of go that route. But
I don't think I've ever, I don't even think I've ever flown Delta. I've flown United and I'm not crazy about United at all.
yeah. So
And I
we'll
Yeah.
talk.
certainly, yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, any other questions or anything that comes up, definitely let me know. Again, as everyone gets registered and we hit that minimum of 10 people registered, we'll have our welcome call. We'll talk about flights and kind of get all that going. Again, we have just started using a new payment system for those of you who have gone on one of our previous experiences. So we have automated payments now. Through the We Travel that we're using to process all of the payments. So I won't be hounding you for anything along the way. If you need to break up your payments differently, I can actually do custom arrangements as well if you need to break it up at all. So we can just connect at any point in time. Otherwise, the payment schedule is listed out on the bookings link. Anything else, ladies? I saw, let's see, I saw Jenny joining in the background. Jenny led our Portugal trip with me. She's coming to Greek Isles in the fall. She's leading the Rocky Mountaineer next year. So we got lots of ladies. And Sheila, hi Sheila. She just came back. I hope it's okay to share. She just came back from Costa Rica with us too, and Barb and Mary and everybody. So if you ever, want to know about other people's experience in terms of kind of what our adventures are like, definitely feel free to reach out in the Facebook community. And I can always connect you if both parties agree via Zoom to chat with anybody within our community that's open to it.
I see a
So
question there. Just somebody's asked about, I think Julie's asked about the time zone. So yeah, there you go, Mary, you're quick off the mark. So it's 10 p.m. in Buenos Aires, but in Chile it's Central Time. So I don't know,
Okay.
myself and Cara are Central Time right now. So it's Central Time in Chile, and it's an hour. It's like East Coast time in Buenos Aires.
perfect. And I was looking at flights because that's always important to me. Is like it looks like a lot of the flights to South America are overnight. So if you do have those points, ladies, use them to upgrade because leg room and comfort is so important on those overnight flights. I learned that going to Ireland. Economy just does not quite cut it overnight because I couldn't quite bend over to get enough rest.
The lovely thing about South America though is because even though it's a long way to get there, having no jet lag really makes a difference. It's like going from South Africa, my last trip to South Africa from home in Ireland. There's no time difference, an hour of a time difference. So it's really weird that you're sitting on a flight for so long and then you get there and it's like the same time, which is brilliant.
Yeah,
Really, really good.
For
I think
sure.
Barb, did you have a question, Barb?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering how many total flights are in this trip besides getting there and coming home, like in between, like total time we're gonna.
So we got Buenos Aires. So if we're going without the pre-extension, we're going Buenos Aires to Iguazu, Iguazu to Mendoza, Mendoza to Santiago, Santiago to Calafate, and then Calafate back to Buenos Aires.
We're gonna be
So
busy
someone
little
was
bees.
camping.
So how many was that? I didn't count.
Five?
I think you 5, yeah.
5.
Yeah.
But it'll be just little puddle jumping.
Not including the extension.
Yeah.
Not including the extension. Yeah,
Right.
the extension would add another 2.
And that's where packing really comes into play, okay?
Yeah,
I will
that's what I
say
was thinking about.
pack smart. I went to Egypt a couple of years ago and I traveled with a colleague, Gina, and she rocked up with almost like a backpack. And I was thinking, where's your suitcases? I come in and my bag's overweight already when I'm
Yeah.
leaving, full of crap that I'm never going to wear. Excuse my language. I'm packing everything thinking that I need all of this stuff. And I don't know about you ladies, you end up wearing the same thing again. You change things up because people are comfortable in their own clothes. So do as I like, and I have changed my way now. I'm not, Kara's going to roll her eyes and say, no, you have not. But I have gotten a hell of a lot better because just pack smart, especially when you are
Yeah.
upping and going and you've got these different flights. Comfortable shoes. Like it is summertime. So like you don't need to have your big, like you going down to Ushuaia, I said it can get a little bit windy. But even if you have hoodies or cardigans, like that's perfect. Everywhere else it's going to be warm. So just comfortable walking shoes. There
Yeah.
will be a couple of nights when you're doing like the tango, that tango show in Buenos Aires. If you want to wear your glad rags, I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but your fancy outfits you can. But if you don't want to, don't worry about it. You're not going to rock up in your bikini to the, well, actually, if you did to your tango show, they'll just think you're one of the dancers. So that's fine. So just pack smart. That is what I would say, especially when you've got all of those flights. And if you forget something, you're in shopping heaven as well, especially in Buenos Aires. Remember, they have lots of shops. So if you are missing something, you can buy. And again, your dollar goes a long way. So that is my top tip. Just pack smart.
And I
Yeah.
And you
think
could reuse things as well,
And
you
when
know.
I went, because I went on 4 flights altogether, I used packing cubes. So I put my shirts in a packing
Yeah,
cube.
I use them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they help kept because I'm not an organized person and they help me keep very organized. So
So
Mhm.
when I went to you just got back from Europe for a couple weeks and I managed to actually for the first time pack everything in a carry-on. I was so proud of myself and we only had to do one like load of laundry the entire trip. So with that being said, will any of our locations like mid-trip have laundry services? Okay. That's
Your
a question that
hotels will. Yeah,
Mhm.
your hotels absolutely will. Now just bear in mind, normally hotels they charge like it's not cheap. Like it's not cheap. Do you know what I mean? But it's not expensive therein either because your dollar goes a long way. But it is a case, Gina, I mentioned the girl who literally goes with her backpack trekking all over the place. That's what she would do. If she needs clean underwear or something like that, she'll send it off. Do you know what I mean? She'll get it washed. And that's how she travels. And I'm telling you, I envy her. I'm
Mhm.
so in awe of how she travels like that.
Yes. Okay, we have one last question here. Mary asked, "Are we dressing in white? We for our welcome reception." I'm sharing my screen because this picture in the background on my main page for all of our adventures is all of us in our white attire. Now, you are not required. Jennifer, I'm not calling you out, but she is wearing a lovely, vibrant dress. Like you don't have to. But it looks really great in the picture. So if you want to, great. If you don't want to worry about getting white, dirty throughout,
I
hey,
don't own white.
yeah. So like
Mhm.
that is okay.
Just don't own white.
Just happened to be on here, and I wanted to say, you do you if you need to. But yeah, usually the first welcome kind of reception, we'll take pictures and that sort of thing. So, yeah, we just light, airy, something that you can wear over and over throughout when you go out to dinner or whatever. Be comfortable. Like that's like the most important thing. Be comfortable and let's see. Heidi, Mary Ellen, Julie, people I haven't, Karen, anybody I haven't heard from. Any of you ladies have any questions or want to share any thoughts that are coming up? Okay. Okay. Well, I just thank you all for being here, Shelley. Yep, I saw you waving. If you have any friends who are also interested in coming with you, you've got the link to the page. If for some reason you lose it, no worries. I'll be sending out an email in the next 24 hours with the recording as well. So you can forward the email on to, your friends who may want to join. So, I will also drop a link directly to kind of my email list as well, but all of that's going to be coming to you in a follow-up email. So if you have any questions, amazing, please share them in the Facebook group, send them to me privately via email, whatever you need. But it has just been a pleasure. And now you know where to go kind of for all of our upcoming adventures out on my website. And so anything that comes up along the way, don't hesitate to ask. And now you've met the lovely ladies behind the scenes that are planning all of the stuff based on the experiences we want to create here at Becoming You Adventures. So thank you so much for being here, taking time out, and I hope to see you on our next adventure. Oh, I did I forgot something. Sorry. One thing. If you do sign up, you decide to come and you sign up by the end of July, we do have a special VIP gift. We give the VIP gift out at the upon your arrival. So we always have a gift bag for everybody who comes and then a few extra things for our VIPs. Also, you'll get access to some additional things along the way, coaching and maybe extended discounts for other things along the way that come up. So please go ahead. I'll put that information in a follow-up email. If you can get registered, the sooner the better. So we know we have everybody spot reserved for this upcoming adventure. And it's just been a pleasure to see you all this evening, and I really can't wait to see you in South America. All right.
Take care, everyone.
Have a great
All right.
evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
thanks.